was Jim Henson, Idea Man, and this was a Disney Plus production or Disney Mouse something production. Uh, and as it implies, Tom, this is a documentary on Jim Henson. Are you familiar with this Henson fellow?
Joe, I am. I am. I was going to say romantically familiar, but I'm not. Yes, I am, Joe. And I also watched this movie. I was going to watch it on our break because this was the last movie I had on my list of 2024 movies to watch. But I said, fuck me running. Joe watched it, so now I have to.
Yeah. It goes through, Jim Henson's early life, and then his big breaks, I guess, that he got, working with PBS and then, the Muppets and,
I mean, fucking, you say like his big breaks, but he was doing pretty fucking well before then.
oh,
It was
he he considered it a break, because he was able to like do a lot of shit that he wanted to with the budget or whatever, But no, he was on fucking like Ralph was on fucking big, Jack Parr show or Johnny Carson or whatever, and he was doing a lot of cool shit, for TV, doing commercials for fucking wieners and stuff.
And didn't he win the Academy Award before he got Sesame Street, or was that after?
I think it might have been after. I'm not sure on that.
But still, I was watching this motherfucker like, man, I'm not gonna be shit. I already fucked up. I'm too old.
Now he won like local Emmys before
Okay.
we're doing Sesame Street, and then Sesame Street came up last year. I think on my list was a really good documentary on Sesame Street. Watch that if you like this. That was really fucking cool too. Um, yeah, I mean it's good. And then it talks about like some of the shit that he did that wasn't well received, like the Dark Crystal, which I reviewed that I think earlier in the year, and not good, not a good movie.
Did you? Okay.
And but it's got a lot of cool looking shit, and that's him wanting to do this, wanting to try new shit, and then Labyrinth, and then they just kind of fast forward, you know. I think because it's a Disney production, they probably didn't pay attention to maybe some of the shit that Disney doesn't own. I don't know if Fraggle Rock's on the Disney Channel or not, but I know it was initially made for HBO, and they barely touch on that. They barely touch on the storyteller.
They barely touch on a lot of shit, really.
Yeah,
Like
because
the fucking latter half of his career, it's kind of like, oh, he did this and this and this.
till the day he died, he was just doing shit like left and right, and
Like Ninja Turtles was his last thing, and that wasn't mentioned, or there wasn't a picture of anything from it.
mm, yeah, so it's real selective on the things that they cover. So uh, it's not going to be making a list for me, but it is good. I mean, it's really good, especially if you don't know about this guy. And who the fuck could you be that you wouldn't know about this guy? I mean, come on, get your shit together. Did amazing stuff, and I guess lived the life that anybody that is artistic or likes to create shit wishes they could. Having the ability to do that. But he was also a lot more talented than most of us too. But it shows like, hey, he let his relationship, with his wife kind of slide, because he was so busy. But hey, that's what it fucking takes, man. Sorry, but that's what it takes. Uh,
Yeah, I like how it was kind of slyly put out there that, oh, yeah, after he got divorced from his wife, he was just fucking all these broads. They kind of subtly said that.
yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, I thought I probably like this a little bit more from you, more than you. I like this a little more from you, Joe. But probably just because of my occupation and all, because his shit was inspirational in what I do and all that. But I would it was good, like, it was extremely well made. I guess my biggest gripe, which we kind of already covered, is there should have been, like, a minute or 2 montage of at least of, like, all the shit that was created after he died just to say, "Hey, it's still going on, and look at all this shit that "Oh, you seen this, you seen this, you seen this. That's all because of Jim Henson, motherfucker."
Yeah.
But there wasn't none of that. Like, dinosaurs, that's probably my fucking favorite shit he did and influenced fucking me for sure. Nothing with that. No, Ninja Turtles is cool. I haven't watched that in a while. Maybe we'll pick it at some time and be like, oh yeah, good when a kid, whatever. But Emmett Otter's kind of sort of brought up, and that shit's like a fucking classic. That's probably one of the best things I think he did. What was that show? The Jim Henson Hour? I watch that fucking shit every week, and I'm sure that fucking imprinted on me more than I could even fucking remember.
I only watched like one or two of those. I gotta see if that's streaming somewhere because I
It
got.
is, but we'll get to that on the next show. Not the next show, but the show after that, Joe.
You have like a DVD with the storyteller with that complete series or whatever on
We'll
it.
get to that, Joe. Maybe not next week, but the week after that.
But it was cool because they talked to Frank Oz a lot more than they have in the other documentaries, and I hope at some point somebody does a documentary on him. Hopefully before he's fucking dead, and he can see, oh shit, people like me too. That's cool because he did do a lot of work side by side with Henson, man. Yeah, good shit. And it seemed like they were like genuine friends that shared in the creativity and the creative process and shit.
Yeah, they have him talking before they show him on screen, and I was like, "Oh, goddamn, they got Frank Oz." And then I was just like, "Yeah, of course they did. It's Disney. They have all the money in the fucking world."
Yeah,
But it's surprising how little people they actually talk to in it.
yeah. They aside from like his kids and outside of that, maybe like five people. I don't know. It's yeah,
Jennifer Connelly or Coonley, whatever, being one
yeah,
of them. Which, I guess she was in that movie, but that's still weird. I
yeah.
guess it's just to say, "Oh, we're Disney and we have the money." But, like most documentaries about people, Jim Henson couldn't be bothered to be in this one, so
Yeah, just like they couldn't get that other one. This was uh I I knew this, but I forget it all the time. He was fucking 54, man. Uh, I'm fucking 54. I think it's like holy shit, that's not good.
you go to the doctor less than he does,
Right?
or did.
To go to the doctor and but it's like he accomplished a lot of shit. Fuck.
Yeah, dude, watching that shit, I was just like, "Oh, man, fuck me." Like, it was inspirational, but at the same time, it was just like, "Fuck."
Mhm.
And I always remembered him dying of cancer. I didn't, remember it as a bacterial infection.
Right? Yeah. It's fucking strange.
Which is fucked because I get, like, 1 or 2 of those a fucking year. Especially since this medication I take lowers my immune system, so I'm, like, prone to shit like that. Like, as you know me, Joe, I don't worry about much, but when but when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, fuck." But yeah, like you said, you wanted a documentary like this for Frank Oz.
Mhm.
God damn it, just make a dope ass documentary of good quality like this about Stan Winston.
Yeah.
Because you fucking do Jim Henson and then you grow up and then you're into Stan Winston shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a long time coming. And he did die of cancer, so
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. That shit just always fucking worries me. because, I do the same thing and I'm always in the shop. Like his shit was just create, 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 gotta do shit, gotta do shit, gotta do shit. And that's me. Like I'm always in there. I'm sure he had way more ventilation and fucking people to clean up the shop while he worked and shit. So I mean that shit always fucking weighs on me big time. So it was kind of I don't wanna say reassuring that he didn't die of cancer because, like, I'm just like, "Oh, shit, Stan Winston, Alvarez, and fucking Henson, they all died of cancer, and plus other people, but not as early," and it's just something I think about, Joe, because as you know, I think about dying all the goddamn time.
I try not to, but every once in a while, it like it's fucking right there in my face, and especially watching this and seeing, oh shit, he was 54. Fuck, fuck.
So, did you tear up at all?
No, I didn't. Not on this
You
one.
fucking heartless bitch. God damn you.
I did on that Sesame Street documentary. That one I felt was more emotional than this one. Um, I don't know. It's like I don't feel bad for the guy. Like he was doing everything he wanted every fucking minute of the day. That's what drove his life. Is just creating this, creating that. It's like, oh well, shit. Let's try it this way. That's never been done before. Let's see if we can make that work somehow. That's like you said. It's very inspiring. To see just somebody with that kind of drive. Um,
Did you see it just starting out with fucking sock puppets and then getting into fucking servo controlled animatronics and shit?
Sock puppets with fucking ping pong balls, for eyes. And it made it work.
And
And
we're from fucking like completely different generations, and I'm sure his shit hits different for both of us. Like what's the shit that you're into? I said the shit that I was into, so what's the shit that got you into it? I know you're too old to what been watching Sesame Street when you were a child, but
well, Sesame Street started when, like,
that was a joke because of your age, Joe.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So, like, yeah, I would watch Sesame Street all the time, especially in the summers when fucking school was out. But and
Like
that,
that song.
but I think when he did the Muppets, which I didn't know that it wasn't fucking aired in the U.S. I didn't know it was a British thing until.
Okay, so let me say something about that. Like, I watched that shit all the time because it was on Nickelodeon,
Mhm.
but I was like, "This looks fucking weird. This just fucking looks weird." And then they said, "Oh, yeah, this was shot in England." And then I was just like, "Yeah, it looks like all the weird shit that's shot in England." I don't know if they have, like, a fucking weird film stock, but it has, like, I don't wanna say, like, a weird dreamlike haze to it, but
That's
the picture looks kinda off.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, the fucking American networks all rejected it twice, and then but we did see it. I mean, after it got to be a hit, it started airing in the US. They just like, well shit, we're gonna do that first season now in the US, and that's when I watched it. And then when they did the movie, um I don't know how old I was. I probably was still in like middle or elementary school, but that was like, holy fuck, they're walking and they're riding bikes and shit. And it was just like, wow, that's fucking cool because they're puppets. Even as a kid, but there's people working that somehow. And yeah, that shit's just that's fucking great, man.
Yeah, like, as a puppeteer, you learn that this is your first thing, this is step 1. You learn how to do this, and then you branch off and do your stuff from that, and just the amount of stuff they did with, just doing this, the amount of stuff they were able to do with just this and make it look like it was alive. Pretty good. But yeah, just all the shit you can fucking do just from that. It's crazy. Like the first thing that got me was like the thing head from the dog. When you realize just this, just
Yeah.
just this, I'm a monster. Good shit. So yeah, hopefully something like this gets made. The generation now that just watches streaming shit, hopefully this will inspire some kids to get into fucking dope shit and like, yeah, this is all felt and shit, but then you can go over there and it's all fucking goopy monsters and it's all the same shit, dog.
Hmm.
Good shit. Would recommend. Will probably make a list, Joe.
Thanks for checking out the show. We hope you dug it, baby. If so, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and let us know down below. Support Tom and Joe by heading over to dwnproductions.net and fanscustomshirts.com. Until next